Hi friends, this is Caitlin, and today is a very exciting day because it is another Sweet November release day. We are celebrating Mer-May 2022, and I have some new items to show you today. So we have the Pirate Room add-on. This is little Calico. We have Bonnie with her little shrimp that are so adorable. We have the Mermaid Hair Don't Care, which is absolutely amazing if you love coloring in hair or you want to practice more. We have the Mermees number 2, which are absolutely adorable and I used on another project that we'll talk about later. We have the Sunshine and Seashells, which is so cute, and I love all the scene builder pieces that go along with these beautiful mermaids. We have the Simple Room Scene Builder set, which is amazing for this mermaid theme, but can also be used for absolutely any kind of indoor scene that you want. And Amy's done some really fun things with using those single planks. So definitely, I'll leave some links down to other videos you should check out. And then we have the Dock on the Bay and the Mermees number 3. And these are what we'll be using for our card today, but more importantly, they're what I'm going to be doing a giveaway for today. So in order to join the giveaway, you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment. It's that easy. You can join our crafty family and also enter yourself into this giveaway. If you're already subscribed and you're good to go, just like and leave a comment. And this way we will be able to grow, like I said, our channel, and also, build up some hype around Sweet November stamps because they're absolutely amazing and Amy deserves all the love. So I'm gonna start building in my scene, and just to be clear, the giveaway is open from today, which is Saturday, May 14th, until Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. We're gonna end it at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you have until Tuesday the 17th at 5 Eastern to go ahead and subscribe, like, and leave a comment. You can leave a comment on anything you want. It can be your favorite set, it can be your favorite mermaid movie, it can be anything you want. Just leave a comment and you will be entered in to win those 2 stamp sets from Sweet November Stamps. So also thank you to them for supporting me and giving me these sets to give away to you today. I am not obligated to create these videos, but my reward for kind of making them to share with you the new release is them offering up those stamp sets to give you guys a chance to grow your stamp collection and play with even more Sweet November stamps. So I started out, you saw before, with a rough draft copy of my scene. I just did that on some printer paper and I made it with no masks just so I could see how everything would lay out. And now I am committing to my scene. So I started by going in with the 2 kind of wooden poles, kind of creating the front part of our pier. And then I went in with my Mermee. And this is where you're gonna have to be a little bit forgiving with me, a little bit imaginative, because I know that her hair is flowing upwards as if she's underwater. But we're just gonna pretend that that's normal, that when mermaids leave the water, their hair continues to flow like that, right? We can just stretch our imaginations for the day. So I went ahead and masked the 2 poles and my mermaid. And you can see I didn't mask my whole mermaid, and I should have, because right in that little bottom corner, the pier kind of hits over her tail, but I'll also show you how I fix that later on. So I'm stamping out the pier into 2 pieces on my post-it so that we can create masks for that. And basically this entire scene is just working in layers. You're going from what you want to be closest to the viewer and working on your way back. So you stamp out your images and then work back into the scene so that all of those things are kind of covered and hidden by what's in the front. That's why I find that it's a lot easier for me to figure out the order of everything if I stamp it all out on a printer paper piece first, because then I can color in and shade in what I want in the foreground, and I know exactly what order to stamp all my images. So I also fell in love with the rock and this little seagull from the Dock on the Bay stamp set. So I'm adding him so that that's kind of what she's making eye contact with off of the end of the pier. So I stamped him out first. I'm going to mask him up too, and then add in these rocks with a little starfish. It's so cute. And then we're going to kind of be creating an ocean sunset, sunrise kind of really fun background around this. I also kind of put my pier at an angle so that it kind of looks like she's angled away from us a little bit. You could definitely do this straight across. I just thought it added a little extra element of dimension to the scene because I was leaving the background so open and kind of just adding in my own interpretation. I wanted to kind of just give it a little more depth. So I also went in and added some of those barnacles to the bottom of that one. I wish I remembered the name. There's a real name for those poles, but the pier. And then I realized that the right back pier pole technically should be underwater for the line that it's creating with that rock. So you can see I just went in with a Copic marker and I added in my own kind of ripple lines, and we're going to be changing up how we color that one so that we kind of create our own underwater cutoff where you can kind of just see the bottom of that piece under the water. You'll see it gets better. So now I'm going in to create my horizon line, and to do that I'm just using a really light teal kind of BG marker. I'm going to try to have all of my colors listed in that bottom description box below for you guys. I did use a lot of colors on this, and I was not great about putting the caps down this time, which, you know, normally I'm pretty good about that. So I'm going to do the best I can to make sure that all those colors are listed down there for you. But obviously you can use whatever colors you have and get creative with your color mixes so you can really customize this to what makes you happy. Sometimes when I approach a scene like this where there's going to be so much coloring, it makes me feel less nervous if I knock out the main features first. So I am starting out by coloring in my mermaid. I kind of just went with my normal go-to Caucasian skin tone for her. I gave her a little bit of a blue bra, and then I decided I didn't really know how I wanted to color her tail or her hair. So I jumped around a little bit with this one. I started going in with some yellow markers and created kind of where my sun would be meeting the horizon line. So you're not going to see the actual sun. It's a little bit past sunset or just before sunrise with this one. So you see all of the yellow warmth without any of the actual circular sun part. And then all of the markers that I'm using up in the sky, I'm also using a smaller amount of on the water so that when we go in with the blue greens later, it'll kind of just give that really pretty reflection and that hint of that sunset color in the water. So I worked from that right hand side over towards the left, and I started adding in my blue greens. So I went in with BG10 first just because it's so transparent, and started kind of creating that ombre effect in towards those pinks and oranges. And then I went in to add those same shades to my water, but with a lot more color. So I believe this is a BG11, and I am using that. And you can see now I'm going to start building in that water line over those. Is it a piling? I think it's a piling. I think that's what it's called. It just came to me. So I'm filling in just all of that area. You can see I'm not being super neat. I'm not being super particular. I just want to get that color kind of filled in because we're going to do a couple different layers on this, and everything will kind of blend out in the end. So I'm creating some of those darker teal wave marks, current marks, over the water so that it kind of makes sense of why we're having those reflections of the yellow and the pinks further back. And you want to make the wave lines you're creating kind of thicker at the bottom and as thin as you can as they get up closer towards the horizon line, because as they approach the distance, they would be smaller. You'd see less detail. So I'm kind of creating those same kind of horizontal lines across my sky as well, kind of creating that idea of like some very thin little clouds kind of up in the distance. And then once I had a good idea of where my sky color scheme was headed, I decided to start in on her tail because I wanted to use some bright kind of R corally colors. And so you can see I'm just going in and creating that blend. We want the darkest part of her tail to be at the bottom where the sunshine wouldn't be hitting it yet, and kind of creating those stipples. These stipples and a white gel pen are what are going to save that little corner where the bricks overlap on her tail for me. And I really do just like this because I think it adds a little bit of extra interest. And I also decided that I wanted to give her some ombre hair. My favorite thing about mermaids is there are no rules with them, right? So you can do whatever color combination you want, whatever effects you want. They can have any color hair, they can have any color anything, they can be glittery, they can be dark, they can be whatever makes you happy. And so I decided that some brunette to blue ombre hair would make me happy today to kind of match in with her little seashell bra. So I'm going in with my E70 markers. I kind of stuck with that family. I added in a little bit of E49 for some extra depth. And I am going to just create that lighter as it gets towards the end of her hair. And you can see now I'm going in with my light blue and just starting to kind of blend that area where the blue and the brown are going to overlap. Then I started going in with some of my deeper B markers to add in kind of that hair texture all the way up to B18 and I think I pulled out a B99 here in a minute, just to make sure that the depth, 39, the depth of the blues match the depth of the browns so that the contrast would make sense. So now is when I'm going in with that white gel pen, and you can see I'm kind of covering the areas where that black brick ink was stamped over her tail, and it really does kind of just make it disappear, which that made me so happy because I really did not want to start over because of that one little spot. So now I'm going in with some warm grays to shade in these rocks, and I decided to keep them pretty dark because they are facing away from that sunrise or sunset, but also I just thought that it would give a nice contrast because the background is so light and airy. I wanted to have something that kind of grounded the scene, and I really thought that those deeper grays would do the job. So to create a different feel, I grabbed my cool gray markers to shade in my seagull, and I wanted him to be pretty white still, so I didn't cover him in completely. I just kind of gave his belly a little shadow. And now I'm going in to color in our pilings. We're going to just assume that's the right word, and I'm going to use it. If it's wrong, we'll just pretend I never said it. So I'm using some E50 markers, and it turns out that my E55 is in desperate need of a refill, and I don't have that refill right now. So I have ordered it, but you're going to see that it doesn't do the best job blending when we get here, but it got the job done for today. So I am shading in that back piling so that the bottom part is lighter where it would be under the water, but you can still see some of that E55 kind of tinting the watercolor. So I did the back two pilings the exact same, and I shaded in that rope a little bit lighter so it would stand out and give a nice contrast. And then again, to create more contrast in the other direction, I went in with some very dark markers for my actual pier. I figured if anything's been refinished and covered up with layers and layers of stain or sealant or anything like that, it would be this actual pier part that you walk on. So we went with the dark colors down there, and then I used this Slimline die cut. Wow. Frame almost to cut out my Slimline scene, and I'm adding in this sentiment from the Mermees, that seems one that you'll be getting if you win this giveaway. And it says be a mermaid and make waves, and it fit so perfectly in my scene. I just couldn't help using it. It was the perfect size. So I adhered that down to a coral cardstock, and that is a scene complete. So in all transparency, this scene did take me about an hour and 10 minutes maybe to color, but it was absolutely worth it. And I hope that you're feeling super inspired. Make sure you go check out the Sweet November Stamps Instagram page. They're doing an Instagram hop for a chance to win other giveaway prizes. So I'll leave a link down to their Instagram channel below for you. Make sure you check that out, and make sure that you leave a comment, like this video, and make sure you're subscribed so that way you can enter in for a chance to win those 2 amazing stamp sets we used today. Remember to do that before May 17th at 5 Eastern Time, 5 p.m. And I hope that you have the most amazing weekend, and as always, happy crafting.